Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Reading Bad Steam Reviews. I'm your host, a man that does not look good in a mustache, and today's game is Celeste.
This game ain't a disgrace to good and fun games. This game is bull. The f***ing Ghost Boston, unpredictable. If you miss one pixel off, there is no way of finishing it. I have 1,000 deaths and I am only in the middle of the game. This game, I will never finish it, and it was a waste of my time and money. Game of the year, my ass. Listen, developers, when you have a good idea for a game and a good story to tell, just f***ing make a good and fun game. If I wanted, hell, I can play LOL or Overwatch. I just want my single-player experiences to be fun and relaxing with some challenges that you can overcome by learning patterns and getting better skills, like f***ing Cuphead, Hyperlink Drifter, and Hotline Miami. But this game is over my nerves because in f***ing Dark Souls you can learn the patterns and you can go and grind and get better stuff. But here you just jump and dash. A game to game that everything you touch instantly kills you. And don't get me started in collecting the strawberry eyes. If you want to break your keyboard and or mouse by this game and play it on standard difficulty, good luck.
We're starting off strong today, as always. I hope my roommates don't hear any of this. Now I get it, not everybody is a fan of hard-as-nails platformers where everything kills you in one hit, but I think it's pretty hilarious that he's telling these game developers how to make a good game. I mean, next time you have a good idea, just make a good game. It's that easy. I do find it kind of funny, though, that he says that there aren't any patterns for the bosses in this game, because there kind of are. I mean, that's the whole gimmick with these one-screen puzzle-type games like this and Super Meat Boy and The End Is Nigh. Whenever you die, you start at the beginning of the room, and everything that happens from then forth is deterministic. It's the same every time if you act the same every time. So, yes, it is about learning patterns, but you also have to execute very well in games like this. Like I said, that's probably not for everybody, and it certainly wasn't for this guy. Trash characters, trash story, boring retro pixel graphics, a complete joke, barely passable as a game. These types of reviews are simultaneously my least favorite and most favorite kinds of reviews. I mean, they're so short, how can you really get anything from it? But you can tell by how short it is and how direct it is that this guy, he thinks really highly of himself. Assuming this review isn't a joke and based on his activity in the comments, it might be, but let's give him the benefit of the doubt because I think it's funnier to assume that it's not a joke. But to immediately come out and call the story and characters trash without even giving any backup arguments to say why they're trash is, a little bit narcissistic. But the cherry on top of all of this is that he says it's barely passable as a game. And then, if you're paying attention, you'll see that he has 41.8 hours on record playing this game, which is not nothing. And as I've been told many times in the past, just because you play a game a lot doesn't mean you can't give it a bad review. So, but what's funny, now hold on, what's funny here is he played for another like 13 hours after he put this negative review up on Steam. So I guess he came back for the boring characters and the trash story and retro boring graphic pixels. So something's right here. Something's right. Barely passable as a game, barely passable as a review. Bad game, too hard. You expected me to have something to say about this? Bad game, too hard. And it's pretty straightforward. I don't know what you want from me. And I'm gonna give this guy a little bit of credit at least. Even though his review's really, really bad, at least he gave it the old college try, you know? But not until after he put this review up. 0.1 hours at the time of writing this review, And then he comes back, I don't know how long after, and he plays for another 2 hours, and he gives it a good, honest try. And I guess by the end of it, he thought bad game too hard. Who am I to say otherwise?
Difficulty is fine and good if you make a variety of difficulty settings, but when you have no handicaps in place to help the less skilled audience, then you leave them incapable of experiencing the majority of your content. Oh, that's just stupid. Only worth money to those who are capable mastering the most difficult games, which is a damn shame because there seemed to be some fun platforming mechanics that are new and unique.
Oh, come on, this one is just wrong. And the developer even came in and clarified some straight up misinformation in this review because here, first off, Celeste, as difficult as it is one of the most accessible games for Celeste is one of the most accessible games that has come out probably ever. For those of you who don't know, Celeste has a pretty robust assist mode with all sorts of different options in it that help people that are not really willing or able to get past some of the harder challenges in this game, which is, most of the game. There are intense challenges for the most hardcore, mastery-based skill hounds that have ever existed, and then there's assist mode to help the other players that don't really want to put in the time to get good at this game or to master a platformer with brute force like some of us like to do. But these developers, they really went out of their way to make sure that literally anybody could experience everything that this game has to offer. I personally don't believe that developers need to go through that. What the developers of Celeste did is awesome. So don't give me that crap. Don't give me that crap that it's only for skilled players. It's for everybody, baby. It's just I don't know how you don't dig into the menu for 2 seconds before you say something like that. Jeez. This one's pretty good. It just says wind. Just wind. And I was trying to get some footage for this game, just before I started recording this. So this is extra funny to me right now. About 4 hours into the game, depending on your skill level, of course. It's like chapter 5 or 4 or something. There's a level with a very strong set of wind mechanics that will just kind of push Madeline in the wrong direction or the opposite direction of where you want to go. And it's really frustrating to actually fight against, especially with as well as this game controls otherwise. You get thrown into the wind and then you're at its mercy. It's pretty frustrating, and I can see where this review came from, but it's don't give him a bad review because of that. He played like 4 hours more after this, probably enough to beat the game afterwards, so he still got enjoyment out of it, but I guess the wind offended him just enough to want to put a bad review on Steam.
Turd sandwich, don't waste your money.
Oh man, it's like my freaking 5th grade bully just wrote a Steam review. Roasted.
Garbage game that's just lol anxiety that does that incredibly toxic thing of scribbling a line on a paper, filling in the rest with instant death spikes, and calling it a level. Journalist mode completely invalidates any achievements made. In short, bad design, forgettable music, tries too hard to be Super Meat Boy for journalists. Garbage story that's been done to death before. Don't waste your money here.
That one didn't feel good on the old throat. Now this review is just rude and mean-spirited on like 3 or 4 different levels. First off, I've heard plenty of people just praise this game for its portrayal of anxiety and panic attacks and stuff like that. Stuff that I've fortunately never had to personally deal with, but I know it plagues a lot of people, and I know some people appreciated it getting written into the story in the way that it is in Celeste. 2, insulting the game design by calling it a toxic thing of scribbling a line on paper and then filling in the rest with instant death spikes completely invalidates all of the clever design that went into the various different mechanics and platforms and all the other things that go into just the mechanical depth of this game. This game has such rich platforming that to call it just scribbling a line on paper and filling in the rest with instant death spikes just hilariously wrong. And while I said earlier that I don't think that all games need to cater to all skill levels, calling it journalist mode and saying that it completely invalidates any achievement made just because it's there shows a remarkably small ego that I think you need to get checked, my guy. He did play it for 12.4 hours, which that's the entirety of the game, and it sounds like he was like really insulted by the game just based on the way this review reads. So I'm curious as to why he went and finished it if he was so offended. And while all that's bad, what I can't forgive is you said the music's forgettable? I mean, I don't remember music often from games, period, but some of the tracks in this game are absolutely banging, and you're going to be hearing them in the background of this video, and you're probably going to be like, ooh, that's a pretty banging track. So forgettable music? Get out of here, dude. You wouldn't know music if it hit you in the earlobe. That's a stupid joke. Don't put that in there. Celeste sucks. Celeste is overrated, childish, boring, too easy, and all around a bad game. Celeste reviews are all lies and full of sped bias. Any fan of this game sucks, and fan of this is truly pathetic. If you still play indie games, you're not a real gamer. If you disagree with me, you're an idiot, and I am deleting your comment. I am the greatest Steam reviewer of all time. Pure 100% facts. I did it. I found the meme review. That's pretty good as far as joke reviews go. There's too much hyperbole for it to not be a joke, but I don't know if he actually enjoyed the game or not. But the one question that I have after all of this is, what is sped bias? Sped bias? Sped bias? Worst version of Hollow Knight. Excuse... Bro, have you ever played Hollow Knight? Do you have any freaking idea how big those strawberries would be in Hollowness? They're bugs! They're bugs! After being frustrated all day at work, you don't want to come home and be frustrated by a video game. Having a career makes you a success, not beating a difficult video game. If you put this much energy into a video game, then you should seriously think about what you are doing with your life. The so-so story is not worth all this trouble. The graphics are so bad, the main character doesn't even have eyes. Why should I care about her? I'd give this game a 0 out of 10. I'm trying to think of some other games that exist that have characters that don't have eyes. There has to be something, like some good ones. If you can think of any, if you can think of any good games with characters that don't have eyes, please put them in the comments because I'd really like to see them. I'm sure there's going to be a couple that are going to be like, oh yeah, that's the one. Unfortunately, this one doesn't feel like a joke. You know what? I'll leave it at that. That's a good ending to that. You want Celeste until you play it. There's raging. So much raging. I still have memories about it. The broken keyboard I have laying in the corner, the broken monitor I threw out the window, the dignity and the hours of lost time, never to be regained again. You haven't hit a low until you have your sister walking in on you screaming at an 8-bit character about how you can't pick a strawberry correctly. I warn you, save yourself. I couldn't. I can think of no higher praise to give any game than for it to be so immersive and so engaging that it stokes the fire of such passion in you. So, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. There's still a fly flying around.
Gotcha, you little bastard.
I'm sure most of you who are watching this video have already played Celeste, but if you haven't and you enjoy hard platformers, or if you want a cute little story about anxiety with good pixel art, and even if you don't have the skills, the assist mode will help you out, then, you know, give it a try, give it a play. There's still a fly. I killed one, and there's just still one flying around. Anyway, Celeste is good. Go play it, buy it, win it, love it, play it. Also, subscribe if you want to see more of this. Let me know how you like this. We got a new room because my last house burned down. True story. Hope it looks alright. Hope it's engaging enough. Hope you had fun. Let me know if you want to see more. And as always, I want to give a big shout out to my channel members, especially Eric Lawrence, who has been a member at the highest tier for a few months now. Up there all alone. Someone should join him. But for the rest of you, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.